Hi world, this is Katherine. I am at beautiful Otterview Park reporting to you live from this pile of branches behind me. And I bet some of you who have visited Otterview Park recently have been thinking, what's going on there? Why is there a big pile of short trees? And I'll tell you why. It's because I have been removing some invasive buckthorn for the past week or so. And so I figured I should tell you all what buckthorn is and how you can identify it in your own backyard and how you can safely remove it so that other species can do their job. So here I am with my pile of buckthorn that I've collected so far. So buckthorn comes from Europe and it loves spots like this where it's kind of little shrubby trees. It likes to grow there. It likes to take over populations that are already there, like dogwood. So the best way to identify buckthorn is you can look at the trunk. So if it focuses, you can see there are all these little ridges on the trunk like that. So that's one good clue for buckthorn, is that it's really ridgy. It has those lines. It kind of almost looks like a beech or a birch tree, sorry. And if this isn't enough, if you're thinking, well, this still kind of looks like a birch or a pine, you can look at these little things, which are the very special thing that gives buckthorn its name. So you see there are these branches that are on normal trees, as well as these thorns that are all over. So if this focuses on it, you can see there's a thorn right there, there's a thorn right there, thorn right there. There are all these little thorns all the way up. So if you see right here, at the top of this one, there's actually a thorn. And that happens in a lot of buckthorn, and that is not very common for many other species. Like here, you see that thorn right there? So that's another thing you can look at when you're trying to identify buckthorn. Another thing you can look at that we walked by earlier is this really bright orange colored inside. So right when you cut into it, right when you peel it, I'll show you when we do some removal, you see that really bright red color. And the last thing you can look for buckthorn, which really helps in warmer weather, you can't see it right now, is these black berries they have. So those black berries are another thing that you can look at to identify buckthorn. So in order to remove buckthorn, you'll need one or both of these tools. You'll need loppers for smaller buckthorns, it's just easier to cut them that way, and a handsaw for bigger ones. And when you're cutting buckthorn, it's always good to have gloves. Just because of the thorns, of course, you can cut yourself. So make sure you be safe. So I have decided to cut this buckthorn first. I can see it's buckthorn from, the little point right there, and all the way up that stripy bark. And I was looking, and if you look at the bottom, you see this other plant right next to it. And a lot of the time, that could be another tree, but more often than not, this means that sometime in the past, the buckthorn was already cut down and this little new guy grew out of it. And it looks a little different, doesn't it? It's more spotty than stripy. But if I look for the other clue that's buckthorn, I see these thorns. So I think that this is also buckthorn. So I can cut both of these. And these are pretty small. That one's like that. So this one I think I can cut with my loppers, but this one I might have to cut with my handsaw. So I just cut the buckthorn. You can see the two right there. And when cutting it, you want to cut it as close to the ground as you possibly can. It doesn't have to be a clean cut. As you can see, mine is not. It just has to be a cut. And so some people, after they cut it, like to treat the top with chemicals, and that prevents regrowth, like I mentioned before, how this little one probably sprouted. We don't like to treat them just because we're in a wildlife area, and we prefer to do manual methods and, check up on it year after year rather than using some chemical answers. And so after cutting buckthorn, the most important thing you can do to stop the spread is to make a pile or to leave it right there. If you cut the buckthorn and then take it somewhere, like put it in a dumpster because you want to get rid of it, it will spread. The reason it spreads so well is because it is just naturally a spreader. It goes everywhere it can. So that's why I have them in this big pile. I cut it right here and I moved it right here. I didn't leave it in there just because there's more of a chance that it'll just resprout in the same area. And sometimes brush piles like this can actually provide a good habitat for birds and other animals, while also being dead and not a threat anymore. So I'm leaving it right here. Sometimes people burn it, and that is definitely another method of control. It still has some of the risk that the seeds will spread from the fire and go somewhere else. So our plan for this one is to leave it here for now, and if we see any more resprouts or any more problems, then we'll consider another method to manage buckthorn. So if you are looking for a quarantine home activity that will help your yard, help the earth, and help you have fun and learn a new skill, look no further than buckthorn removal. If you have any questions about identification or removal or anything like that, you can email us at info@maltvt.org, and we hope that you all are staying healthy and enjoying the outdoors.